to Ever After, a Once Upon a Time in Wonderland podcast. Season 1, Episode 3, Forget Me Not. I am your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And Rob Southgate.
Should we jump in?
Uh-huh.
How exciting was this episode?
Cool. It was so exciting.
It was really loaded with stuff. It had a lot of action. It had a lot of new characters that we haven't seen.
I couldn't believe the characters that were in it that are from, like, really out there in fairy tales. Like, Grendel was in it.
Yeah.
Who else?
And Grendel, he had a wife, and they killed her, the Queen of Hearts, and
she disfigured him.
Yeah,
made
she
him
turned
into
him
a
into
monster,
Grendel.
right?
Yeah.
He looked like Gary Busey, sort of.
He did. I was really wondering if that was the actor playing it. But he was a little too with it, so I don't think...
Too with it.
Okay, favorite line. Did you have a favorite line?
Uh-uh.
Mine was, right in the beginning, the one guy said, "What's all this then?"
What's all this then?
It reminded me of Monty Python. What was yours, Molly?
I think I liked All Magic when it said all magic comes with a price.
Right, just
Always
like
a good one.
it was Jafar, and he said magic always comes with a price, and it reminded us of Mr. Gold, right?
All
Of
magic
Rumpelstiltskin.
comes with a price.
Yeah,
Right.
Rumpelstiltskin.
I would actually say I had a different favorite, although I liked both of those. I wrote both of them down. Mine was when they were talking about the Forget-Me-Not, and Will describes what it does, and Alice says, "Where do we find this terribly useful item?"
Yeah, that was good.
I thought that was great.
Uh-huh.
The Forget-Me-Not, I want to point something else out that, Molly, you pointed out, was just like on the regular Once Upon a Time, they changed the intro a little bit. Now, I hadn't noticed that on here before.
I didn't notice.
Well, you noticed it
You
on this one.
pointed it out.
Because what did they show in the intro that told us what this was going to be in this episode?
They showed the Forget-Me-Not
Right, the
Is
O in
once.
Wonderland.
Oh, as the
Forget-Me-Not.
O, okay.
in once.
So now we've started to pick up on that because on Once Upon a Time, like if they show a unicorn, you know there's going to be a unicorn as a central character in it. In this episode was about the Forget-Me-Not.
Yep.
Yeah. And a lot of this episode was about Robin Hood.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
and
how
his
cool
merry
was that?
men. And I thought Robin Hood was really a good guy in this.
Yeah.
Well, he is.
I know, but you wonder if he's always going to be portrayed that way.
Right,
or
he's a
if
bit of an anti-hero because he is robbing. He is a thief. But he has a code he lives by, just like Dexter.
And so he wants any of his men have to have the same code. They can't. They are not thieves. They are people who are doing something good for humanity. They're taking from people who maybe overtax or
they're taking it back because that's the story of Robin Hood. Is it's not just they always say rob from the rich, give to the poor, but it's really not that. It's the
rob from the greedy.
Yeah, the greedy that are taking. They're squeezing everything out of the poor, and he takes it back to give to them to keep them afloat.
Yeah.
So in this case, Will convinces them that they have to go steal from Maleficent. Wow.
Because there's
I would
something,
not mess with Maleficent.
No, but there's something that Will and his girlfriend or whoever she is,
his wife,
want. Or you think they're married? There's something that they both want, and so
and they kind of need it because they live in a house that is so small,
like a little stone cottage.
Well, yeah, but should they steal just because they need a bigger place? No.
Well, but he decides to infiltrate Robin Hood's company, so to speak, and
his band of merry men.
He joins the band of merry men and pretends that he's got the same code and convinces them to steal from Maleficent so that he and his woman can get what they want.
His woman.
We're not sure if it's his bride or his girlfriend.
His lady friend.
So, very interesting. And what do they steal? What does he end up stealing from Maleficent?
The looking glass.
Right.
And where do they use it? What do they use it for?
To come to Wonderland.
Right. Just like how Alice did in the story. She went through the looking glass in the second book.
Now, when they first showed Will and his woman,
lady friend,
she was laying in bed with just her, a little bit of her hair showing, and I said, "Oh, I wonder if that's the Queen of Hearts."
Yeah,
and then Molly thought it was who?
Anastasia.
So we were both right.
Yeah, because it turns out she's both. Well, I've always wondered about him because if he's the Knave of Hearts...
Right, what does he have to do with her? He's got something to do with the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah.
Because it says Knave Heart.
Yeah, this whole time I was thinking it was going to turn out that he was her brother, but not so much.
Her brother?
Well, yeah, when we first saw it and he was Knave of Hearts and she's Queen of Hearts, I thought, oh, it's going to turn out that he's
maybe
the brother
if they were
of the Queen.
and sister,
But no, he's the husband of the Queen.
Or something.
Yeah, so that makes him King of Hearts, right?
Yeah, but he's still Prince of Hearts.
He's
Prince of Hearts.
A knave. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting because we haven't seen yet how she becomes the Queen of Hearts.
What if they broke up?
Exactly.
Then he's not the King of Hearts.
No, now he's just Will. So he's wanted.
He's the guy that still has my record collection of hearts because they broke up.
Boo. Okay, so in the one part of the show, Alice and Will are walking along and they see his wanted poster. And it says
2 of them.
Wanted with or without
head.
Yeah.
So so we thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
They will accept him dead. They just want him one way or another. So what does the Forget-Me-Not do?
It makes you see into the past.
Right, it's the last thing that happened there. And why do they want to take it?
Because they want to know who stole the bottle.
Right.
Guess who it was?
Who?
I'm just going to increase the suspense.
No, don't do it!
Okay, we can.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to talk about something else?
Suspense is increasing. I want to talk about my favorite...
Rabbit!
Oh, good
told
timing.
The White Rabbit.
Yeah, and we get to see him give it to the Queen of Hearts.
And then Will keeps looking as she's... Alice has kind of moved on a little bit, and Will is staring into that.
Yeah.
Forget-Me-Not, just staring at the Queen of Hearts.
Right. Well, and he also says, because Alice says, wait, I thought the White Rabbit was my friend. Why would he do this? And Will says, it's amazing what people will do.
Yeah. So is he scamming her?
Is he scamming her, or is it that he knows, it could just be that he knows that it's going to come out that he was married to the Queen of Hearts. Because Alice is going to freak out over that.
It could be. All right, so let's talk about Cyrus. He's in the birdcage.
Yes.
He's in the giant birdcage, and they lower him to or bring him up. I'm not sure which, but they got him in. So
they lowered him.
Lowered him
right.
to the dining table.
Right.
And the Queen of Hearts and Jafar are going to have a feast, and they're trying to figure out what it is that is Alice's biggest weakness, so that they can use that to take her out.
And they said the centerpiece was one of those pretty little...
The origami
birds.
That she sent the note, right? That's how Alice sent the note to Cyrus, and Jafar found it, and he said, that's when he said magic always comes with a price, because... now Alice is going to pay for having sent that note back to him. So they determine that
it does.
That her biggest weakness is the Bandersnatch.
Right. Oh, this was cool because they went through and they were talking about other monsters.
Yeah,
that
waiting
would be
to see
his
monsters. Face.
And they mentioned the Malmrath, who is from the Jabberwocky story. And the Bandersnatch, who I'm not sure what the Bandersnatch is from. I know I've heard the name. It might be from Jabberwocky.
One of our listeners will be able to tell us.
Somebody will know.
Yeah.
And then they mentioned the Sarlacc. Now, Sarlacc, I don't know if Sarlacc's from any of the fairy tales, but Sarlacc is from Return of the Jedi. That's what Boba Fett falls into, the Sarlacc pit. Because she says if she goes in, it will take, many years for it to digest and kill the person. That's how the Sarlacc works in Star Wars.
Interesting. Okay.
So I'm looking for a Star Wars crossover.
So Will and Will and Alice are trying to find the forget-me-not.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to go to the caterpillar to ask him for the forget-me-not.
Okay, wait.
Do you remember where it is?
I was going to say, this is my favorite location in
Yeah.
this one.
With the
Do you remember what they call it?
No, not the Grendel.
Not the
But
Grendel.
remember when Will takes her to, he says, you've been to Wonderland, now we're going to
Underland.
Underland.
Mhm.
That was so cool.
That was it was not a nice place.
No,
not a
but-
good place for Alice to be hanging out, certainly.
That totally.
But it was fun. I
got
thought
me,
that
though.
was,
I love that
Underland.
name.
Yeah.
I love that idea that there's an
Kind of the
Underland.
underbelly of Wonderland.
Yes, yes. And who's running it but the caterpillar? He is one
And
kind of nasty guy.
He's
isn't he?
trying to convince them that he has the forget-me-not, and Alice totally calls him out, and she said, he doesn't even have it. And she's right.
Right.
Okay, and they know each other.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows Alice.
Yep. So they have to get it from the Grendel.
Even in the Disney version, he's not that nice.
No.
Right. No, he's not.
He says, who are you?
He's kind of a crime boss, is what he
Yeah.
is. He's just kind of a bad guy.
Except in the Disney version, he's funny.
Right.
Yes.
I think he's kind of funny here. I like this character.
It was very
kind of cool and weird.
Icky.
Oh, yeah. And then he
I didn't think
threatens
he was
Will.
the-
What did he threaten Will with? If he didn't get him the forget-me-not.
Having his head be alive on his desk.
Yeah, he pulled that thing off, and there was a head under there screaming.
Very creepy.
That was crazy.
So they have to go to Whispering Woods and find the Grendel.
Whispering Woods.
Now, Whispering Woods, is that from
Whispering
Wizard of
Woods.
Oz?
No.
Do you remember? Or is
No.
that from Alice in Wonderland?
Alice in Wonderland. I don't
See, I
The
thought Whispering Woods was where the trees
Whispering
were.
Winds.
What's that from?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. I just recognized it.
No idea. I think. See, I
Okay, we
thought
need
Whispering
another listener to tell us about this one.
We need
Clearly,
to be,
we are not gifted in
Uh-huh.
we need to
doing
be
this show.
Googled up over here so we can
Yeah.
look these things up. Because
Yeah.
I think Whispering Woods was from Wizard of Oz.
No.
I thought that was where the June bug thing was in Wizard of Oz.
What's a June bug?
It's from the story. It's from the book.
Oh, well, I don't know. I haven't read the book.
yeah.
I've
It's
only
not from.
seen the movie.
Well, it's from the outtakes from the original movie.
Okay.
There's actually the June bug or the jitter bug or something like that. I could be completely wrong, but I know it's something like that.
Jitterbug.
Yeah. See?
In Alice in Wonderland.
Wow.
I don't know.
Who
Okay.
knows?
So,
We'll have to look
much
that one
like this podcast, Will and Alice fall in a hole.
With Gary Busey.
And they wake up in the Grendel's house.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Well, he set a trap.
yeah.
And just
Yeah.
before they fell in the trap, Will says, you've always got to be one step ahead of your opponent. And they fall right into
Yeah.
his trap.
So they're trying to figure out how to untie themselves and how to get out of
Uh-huh.
this guy's house.
And because Alice wasn't struggling, her bonds came off.
Well, she was scraping them with her jewels.
Oh,
Remember?
right. Because the knave thought that she used a wish.
Yeah, he
to
was
do
mad
it.
at her because he
He
thought
said, what
that's
a terrible way to use
yeah.
it.
And
And what did she
said,
say?
No, her jewels were sharp.
Yeah, but she had a funny line that she said to him.
She said there's more than one way to use wishes.
Right.
Yeah.
There's more than one way to use wishes.
Yes.
That was good.
So
Mhm.
she, so they figure out that the Grendel is looking through the forget-me-not at his past, at his wife. He had a beautiful wife, and he was a very handsome man.
Yes.
And they were very much in love
Mhm.
until the Queen of Hearts killed her and disfigured him.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he's staring at this forget-me-not, through
that-
this forget-me-not.
Right. Will knows that he can use this then.
So Will tries to tell him, you should let it go.
Mhm. And then he goes crazy and attacks him.
Yeah.
Okay, he doesn't like. Yeah.
He wants to eat him.
Right. He wants to eat them.
And I want to eat that, baby. And then the Bandersnatch comes in.
Well, yeah, they try to escape, and they're opening the door, and just as they open it, the Bandersnatch.
Well, no, just as they open it, the Grendel throws an axe and almost hits him with an axe, and it sticks
right,
into the wall. And I thought,
and
well, that was enough for me.
And then they open the lock and they open the door, and now the Bandersnatch is there.
So
and then they have to
even
close
worse.
the door,
Yeah.
and then run and hide.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
the Bandersnatch runs in and attacks the Grendel.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they said, or they had an idea. Do you remember what they did to trick the Bandersnatch?
How did they use the forget-me-not?
They were hiding behind a chair.
Yeah.
And then they took one end of the forget-me-not. It's a knot. It's a big circle that has a bunch of knots on the end. And it has a long rope attached. So they had the other end of the rope in their hands. And then the Bandersnatch was jumping through the
Right, he was trying to
hole.
get them by jumping through the hole of the
and they
knot.
But he was seeing, they weren't even standing right there.
Right, he was seeing what had happened just before that, because that was the trick of that forget-me-not.
And then they hung him, right? They got him around the neck like a noose with that forget-me-not.
I don't know if it was around his neck. It was kind of around his body. But
it was around his neck at first, I think, and then he pulled his way through.
He was pushing still, and he started pulling, and he was trying to attack the Grendel again. And just as he was about to get the Grendel, what happened?
The Knave of Hearts.
You have to say it, because they can't see you.
Died. Wait, no, not
The Knave of Hearts did not die.
What did he do?
He killed the monster
How did he kill it?
by using his... That was a knife, right?
Yeah, like a sword or a knife.
A knife.
Yeah.
And he stabbed it. You know what? Is that the Vorpal blade? No. Okay.
The Vorpal blade is a blade. It's not a long knife. It's a sword.
Okay. It's a sword. Okay.
Okay, so what happened when he stabbed the
This was so
Bandersnatch?
It disintegrated like monsters do in Percy Jackson.
Oh, very cool.
Like kind of turned to ash and went floating up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing,
in Percy Jackson, it just turns to ash. It just disintegrates, and it's still there.
Right.
A pile.
Like a pile of ash.
Pile. Yeah, this
A
kind of
pile
floated
of
up.
evil monster.
Okay.
Right.
Well, so the Grendel then is very appreciative because they saved his life.
Yeah.
But his memory of his wife is gone now.
Right. So he has no use for the forget-me-not.
So he gives them the forget-me-not, and then Jafar comes.
Wait. How does he have no use?
Because the memory's gone. Something has happened now in his house.
It's replaced the memory that was in the forget-me-not. So now when he looks in, he doesn't see his wife anymore. That's why he says
she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So Jafar comes and shows up with the Red Queen, and they promise the Grendel that if he tells them who was in his house, that they will reunite him with his wife.
So he tells them, and what does Jafar do? He says, "I'm going to reunite you right now," and what does he do?
Kills him.
Yep,
Yeah,
he
it was
stabs him
very
with his
sad.
staff.
Very sad.
So that's it for the Grendel.
Yep.
And so
now the Grendel is from a story called Beowulf, and in that story, the Grendel is in the beginning the big bad guy. But I always felt in the story that he actually became more of a sympathetic character,
kind of like Megamind.
Yeah.
kind of like Megamind. But it's just how this played out. He's the big bad monster, but then you have sympathy for him. So, you realize it's not his fault necessarily that he's turned into this.
It's not his fault that he's a cannibal.
Well, yes, it is.
Yeah, the cannibal was a
he
little...
He can make better choices, but the fact that he's very hurt...
We also don't know if he's a cannibal. We also don't know if he is.
Molly goes, did he choose to be a cannibal? You're choosing to eat human meat. Yeah, that's a problem.
But we don't know if he is. He might have been doing that to scare him. He might have been... When he said, dinner's almost ready, that doesn't mean that he was going to cook them. He might have been actually making dinner.
Yeah.
And just going to eat.
Yeah, we don't know. We
don't
were
know.
Assuming, yeah.
Yeah.
So they looked, Alice and Will look through the forget-me-not over by that little...
By the dandelion. They go to the dandelion. And that's what he's called. I love that. And they look at the hole.
It's a dandelion lion.
But he's dandy.
It's a dandelion that is a lion.
Right.
In the shape of a lion.
And he's dandy.
Then they look at the hole where Cyrus's bottle was stolen from.
Yeah.
And we now know from you that the White Rabbit is the one who stole it, and he gave it to the Queen of Hearts.
I'm mad at him now.
Yeah, we all should be.
Although I think she's got something on him. She's making him do this, so...
Yeah, I think she was saying that she was going to kill him or something.
She was threatening him.
Mm-hmm.
So Will gives Alice...
Wait.
Oh, go ahead.
I have no idea why she turned so evil.
Well, we don't know yet.
I think we're going to find that out.
And she just turned evil.
I know. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
How do I know that?
Well,
because
we'll figure
we saw it today. So Will gives Alice the forget-me-not, right? And then he burns it so that the caterpillar can't have it.
Right.
So that's the end of the forget-me-not. It no longer exists.
Yep. Except I'm kind of worried that his head will end up screaming on his death. On the caterpillar's death.
You're right, because he's not fulfilling his obligation.
Right, he can't bring him the forget-me-not. So, yep, that could be how the season ends.
Jafar shows up with the caterpillar. He shows up in the Underland.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't know what's going to happen there.
What
Jafar
he says,
might kill the caterpillar.
Tell me everything you know about Will. I don't think he's going to kill the caterpillar.
I'm just saying, it's a possibility.
I think that, like, Grendel gets killed in the story. I don't think we're going to see, like, characters that aren't killed in the books get killed. Grendel gets killed in the story of Beowulf.
Mm-hmm. Why?
And why?
What happens to him?
Oh, you know what? We'll have to explain that another time. That's a big, complicated story.
We'll tell you. We'll read it.
That's a pretty complicated story. But, like, the Bandersnatch, when the Bandersnatch died, I thought, they're killing this character. They're just introducing this type of thing. But then the Red Queen says that the Bandersnatches are dumb. They fall for things. So that means there's not just one. This is a creature that lives there.
Yeah.
There are going to be more Bandersnatches.
So they'll have, Mm-hmm. All right.
Would they be Bandersnatch Eye? Or what do you think they'd be, a gaggle of Bandersnatches?
I don't know that it would be Bandersnatches. It might be, the plural might be Bandersnatch.
Would it be like crows? Would it be a murder of Bandersnatch? I think that's a good way to call it, or a good thing to call it. What do you think?
I think it's a good way to call it, too.
Yep.
Could be.
All right.
All right. Well, I think we wrapped it up. This was a really good episode. I'm anxious to jump into the next one.
Me too.
All right. Let me do a little bit of business here. Yeah. Thank you for listening. You can follow us on our Facebook page, Ever After on Facebook. You just look for us there. You can also go to our website and hear past episodes of this and try all of our other fun podcasts. If you like the kids stuff, we have another one called Geek My Kids on there too, and Cuckoo for Who, which is Doctor Who.
Ever After.
And there we do Once Upon a Time, and we do Wonderland, but they're on the same page.
And I'm on this one and Once Upon a Time.
And Cuckoo for
And Cuckoo for Who.
Right. You're the host of all three of them. So what is the website, Molly?
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
Excellent. Thanks again for listening, everybody. I'm Rob Southgate.
I'm Martha Southgate.
I'm Molly Southgate.
Let's end this like every great fairy tale ends.
Happily ever after.
The end.
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.